Okay, so I'm doing my speech on how to curb the problem of inflation, and I propose the solution of elected Republicans. So during the past 2 years, Democrats have controlled the presidency, the Senate, and the House, and America has faced the highest inflation that we haven't seen over 40 years. It's getting worse and keeps rising, and it's not going down. So inflation was recorded in this past month at 7.7%. Earlier this year it was at 9.1%, the highest it's been in 40 years. So it only came down about 1.4% from February to November of this year. But how does this actually affect somebody? Dozen eggs in February of 2022 cost $2.01 compared to $2.60 a year ago. And even with anything, milk, gas, airfare, beef, everything's going up. I think it's important to know about this because everything's going up. It's affecting me. It's affecting everybody, no matter where they live on the scale. But I propose that if Republicans can get back in office in 2024, that they can turn things around and hopefully bring this inflation down. So just an overview. I'm going to give an analysis of the problem, give the cause and effects of the problem, the significance of the problem, my solution, what this will look like, and then what could happen if this does happen, what could happen if this doesn't happen. So Joe Biden, our favorite president, he was elected in 2020. The Democrats won the House and the Senate, and inflation rose to the highest levels that we've seen in over 40 years. When he was first elected, inflation was at 1.4%, and now, like I said, it's at 7.7%, and earlier this year it was at 8.4%. So it first started going up in April 2021, up to 4.2%, and it has been below 7% since early last year. Food prices during the calculations are up 13.46% since Biden became president, and Democrats were given the House and the Senate, and then gas prices are up almost 84% since Biden became president. Some of the causes that economists say contributed to this. Democrats like to spend money. Biden signed a $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill back in March of 2021. Many economists say that this is the biggest contributor to inflation. The definition of inflation is caused by the growth of money supply increasing too rapidly. And this is like stimulus checks from COVID, so pumping more money than we actually have. And then the other one is his weak foreign policy. Of course, we know that Russia has invaded Ukraine, and of course it happened under Biden, didn't happen under President Trump and under Republicans. But each week we see billions and billions of dollars being sent to Ukrainians, whether it's money or supplies. And then also Russia has reduced their natural gas exports, which also increases our food costs because we use gas, of course, to bring food and stuff in. So why is this significant? 60% of households in America say inflation is causing hardships through a recent poll that was done, and then 70% say Americans say that inflation is a huge problem compared to other things. The other closest one is healthcare, but that's not really as bad. They say about 50%, and then violent crime at 49%. So the solution I put forward is I'm saying that Republicans should be reelected in 2024 to the presidency and the Senate. Of course, they have the House now to the midterms, but they have a plan for lowering inflation, and that is, if we can elect a Republican to the presidency and the House and the Senate in 2024, of course, the Democrats still control the presidency and the Senate right now. So right now the Democrats control the Senate by 1, maybe 2, depending on Georgia, and Republicans hold majority in the House, 222, 213. So their plan would be to pull back on spending for frivolous money that doesn't need to be spent, pulling back on that. Democrats are also trying to spend money by reducing student loan debt, and Republicans call it unchecked government spending. And the Republicans also work to regain American independence, but lower gas prices, allowing for more production and domestic-made energy, similar to what Trump did, and then Republicans would also help cut back the permits needed to pump oil and gas from America. So they call it a utopia. If this were to happen, it would make things better. Inflation would, of course, come down. We see when Republicans were in office, Trump and the Republicans in the Senate and House, taxes came down, inflation was low at 1%, and Republicans cut spending. And then America was energy independent. We got our own gas from America. Now we go to other countries, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and then also Republicans want to open the Keystone pipeline again, which will allow for more oil drilling. And then if this weren't to happen, it's called an anarchy. Democrats would remain in control, more spending, higher prices, things would get much worse. They want more mega spending plans like the student debt relief that they're trying to pass, and more non-defense spending and abortion and LGBTQ marriage. America would remain energy dependent, and gas prices would continue to spike if their plans continue, like Biden is shutting down the Keystone pipeline and wanting more oil from Saudi Arabia and Russia. So once again, I propose that Republicans get back in office in 2024 so that we can get inflation down. And it happened before in 2020 and 2016, so I think we can do it again, but it will be a long road ahead of us. And that's it. Thank you guys.